All right. Welcome to another one of these videos. It's been a while, actually, probably about 3 days, maybe 5 days now since I've made the last video. But in this video, I'll be showing where I expect price to go this week, my expectations for the week, and my expectations for the rest of the day. Of course, right now it's about an hour left for the market to close, and this video is probably going to go live when the market has closed. But I wanted to see what CPI was going to do in order for me to decide where I want to trade next. So this is the daily chart for NASDAQ. If you guys remember last time, I was looking to see if we could get a lower time frame shift for us to buy this to the all-time high. I still stand and believe that all-time high is possible. I still stand and believe that we are possibly going to tap into this higher time frame inefficiency, and I still stand and believe that these highs over here on a lower time frame are way too clean to be left. Of course, it doesn't mean the price is going to run to that area right now, and of course we shouldn't forget the fact that we have this relative equal lows at the bottom there on the continuous contract. We know that that low was actually swept. You can see there we swept liquidity. So yes, that's a fact, we did sweep the lows, but on the forward month contract we did not sweep those lows. But either way, they're relatively equal. So right now price has been displacing to the downside, and I believe the sentiment has now shifted from bullish to bearish. I believe many people are now looking to sell as opposed to buying. But I'm looking at this from a monthly time frame, right? If you look at the monthly time frame and you see such a rejection from the previous month, essentially closing where we opened up in the month all the way up there, and you saw this push down next, for me, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I'm just taking this push down as a retracement to finally create that swing low that can push us higher. I have not measured the previous month's week, but yeah, I wanted to see if we dipped down to the 50%, and we did. We actually went down to the 50% of the previous month's tail. So I think the low of the month has been set, and I think we are going to continuously be bullish here. But of course, for us to verify the bullishness of price action, we would have to see, the first thing that I like to see is bearish PDRAs getting disrespected. For example, we have this sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, this CB over here, and we can see that yes, we closed above it yesterday, but today we took the previous daily low over there, and I of course cannot say because we have an entire hour for this daily candle to close, but the likelihood of us closing above this inefficiency, this CB, is very high in my opinion. Of course, CPI has already done its manipulation. We've already got a push to the downside, and I believe this is just going to be a continuation to the upside. Right now, obviously, we have this first hurdle, this first inefficiency that we could say is problematic. If we really get animated today and we close above this inefficiency, then that's a very clear indication, in my opinion, to buy after any down day. So let's say we close above this today. On Thursday we have a bearish day. I'll be looking for buys on Friday to continue the trend to the upside. That's what I'm looking for. I still don't see any sells. I don't see any bearish price action in this whole thing. When we go back again to the continuous contract, I still take this as a retracement, this move down as a retracement to to a discounted price, tapping down to this inefficiency, this volume imbalance, and now we have balanced it not just with a bullish candle but also a bearish candle. That's the condition that needs to be met for me to no longer pay too much attention to a volume imbalance. Second thing we've done now is this inefficiency that I was looking to see if it was going to hold price higher, and the one that I didn't want us to get, I didn't want price to tap into. We tapped into it, and now we're using it as some sort of support for higher prices. As I've already mentioned, I would like to now see us close above this CB, which is in alignment with this previous BC. So if we could close above it again, I'm really expecting us to continue higher from there. And I'm still looking for this as a target going forward. So we will see what price action has in store for us tomorrow. E-mini S&P 500, basically the same thing, but S&P 500 is the weaker of the two sisters right now, even though technically speaking it's the stronger one of the two, because we didn't trade down to that same volume imbalance. Like, yeah, right now we are not getting a massive rejection the same way NASDAQ has a thicker body there, but technically speaking, from a higher time frame perspective, S&P 500 is closer to clearing the all-time high than NASDAQ is right now. So I'm paying very careful attention to this, and right now going into tomorrow, if price doesn't get too animated, this is my drawn liquidity. I'm expecting price to tap into this inefficiency right here. That's my drawn liquidity. We'll go to lower time frames to try and refine it. Let's use this. So yeah, we basically have the exact same thing. We've already seen the structure from a high time frame perspective. The next thing I wanted us to see was from the lower time frame perspective. Oh, by the way, that buy side, this buy side liquidity we saw here was the inefficiency from the daily time frame. My target for tomorrow, as I've already mentioned, if we don't get there tonight during Asia. So we got a sweeping liquidity after CPI. This was well after CPI. We ran the sell side liquidity levels and even took that sell side liquidity. Right, we displaced above, closed above the high, giving us a shift in structure, and I'm looking for a retracement into a short-term discount. So let's say we have this hourly inefficiency, pull it out in time, and let's say the entirety of Asia we basically consolidate and not do anything, and then at midnight, being somewhere here, midnight opens, I would like to see some sort of manipulation into this inefficiency, then a continuation higher. This would be the most ideal situation to get a chop manipulation into an inefficiency on an hourly or a 4-hourly time frame, then a continuation to the upside. This is the most ideal, of course, but price could literally just run this buy side liquidity in a few minutes. It's not like the market has closed yet, but I would like to see a consolidation now. When I mentioned an SMT down there, I believe by now most of you following my weekly outlook videos know what an SMT is. If you don't know what an SMT divergence is, it's literally just in the channel. I'm probably going to link up, put a link up there. I've been saying this in the past few videos, so yeah, forgive me if I sound like I'm getting tired of it, but I will put a link somewhere in the corner there. Anyway, SMT. Looking at this low that was created at 11 a.m. on the 9th of September, compare it with NASDAQ, 11 a.m. on the 9th of September, we failed to sweep that low, indicating stronger NASDAQ prices. So that's why I say that yes, NASDAQ for today is really strong, but overall, from a high time frame, as we saw already, NASDAQ is not really the stronger one because we've got a deeper retracement, but it can be very animated. On the same hourly chart, Firstly, we noticed that we already tapped into that daily gap, but because of that, my next objective, my next target would now be those smooth highs that I mentioned earlier on in the video, if you remember, but I pointed it out on the daily perspective. We have those smooth highs residing over there, way too clean in my opinion. So I'm looking for some sort of retracement and then a continuation to those equal highs. Looking at the momentum NASDAQ has right now, I believe that high is very likely to get tagged this week. So yeah, that's my view on NASDAQ. I was actually looking to see this PM session, looking to see if price could retrace down into this second fair value gap. I didn't realize that we actually already had a first one down here. If you pay close attention, you'll see we had a fair value gap over there. Then this was the second one. I was actually paying more attention to this as the first, and I was looking for a retracement here, but this turned out to be a breakaway gap. So yeah, I missed this move to the upside completely, but that's fine. There's always opportunities in the market every day, so it's just something to journal, document it, then learn from it and move to the next trade. So yeah, I can't say that I'm waiting for a specific inefficiency to be retraced back into and tagged, because I don't know where we'll stop when the market closes. I don't know if price is gonna reject aggressively before Asia, because if that happens, then I mean we could look for buys literally from Asia session. So yeah, target relative equal highs up there, but if you want a nearer short-term target, look out for this inefficiency on the hourly perspective. If we close above this, you could use this as support for the buy side liquidity. And finally, before we end the video, I wanted to cover Russell or US 2000. I'm just gonna quickly mark this out. On the daily perspective, we took the previous daily low. We actually traded into discount for the day and for the week as well. We have potentially made the low of the week now at this point. Actually, it's a Wednesday. There's a 75% chance that the low of the week has been set. So I'm looking for some sort of external range liquidity back to internal range liquidity. Right, so I'm looking for that inefficiency as a target. I'm not going to be optimistic and say I'm looking for this one or the buy side liquidity or anything like that. So I'm looking for this move, and I like that it's not in a hurry the way NASDAQ is to get to that inefficiency, because it actually gives us a target to work with going into tomorrow. So just a second. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking for tomorrow. If we retrace to any hourly gap, say we consolidate the remainder of this New York PM session, if Asia can retrace to say this gap, I could look for buying opportunities. Otherwise, I'll pay attention to this. If we disrespect this CB, then I could look for a scalp to finally clear the buy side. If we close above this CB, look for some sort of retracement, then clear buy side liquidity, or I will hunt for potential buys from a 15-minute or a 5-minute time frame. So that's all I have for now. Stay safe, good luck, and good trading.